Welcome back to the Content Complete Podcast featuring myself, Spencer, and my friend Matt with NFL Gaming TV, and our co-host, not longer Super Fist Cake. We need to change that shit. How's it going, man? I don't have any funny intro for you this time.
Just plain old Super Fist Cake.
So I accidentally streamed to your channel for like a split second there, Fist Cake. That's all.
Oh, nice.
That's my bad.
Oh, that's fine. I mean,
yeah, but he caught it just in time.
No, Spencer caught it.
I caught it. Well, yeah.
Don't sell yourself short, dude.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do here is first things first. Let's talk about what we played, what we did this week. Biscuit, you go first.
Okay. Well, for streaming purposes this week, oh, God, I just spit everywhere. Oh, Jesus. Oh,
God.
Boy.
Oh, you're off the show, you grossy.
Oh, God damn it.
Grossy, I never knew.
Deep down, I've been trying to hide it this entire time.
18 weeks. What the hell?
I do a pretty good job. I am really good.
My wife.
My life. This week I streamed, of course, Dream Daddy with Evie on Thursday night. We hung out with a barista, Matt, I think his name is.
Let's go. I would be a barista.
Would you?
I like coffee. I don't know.
Hey, USA Voyager.
I like coffee, close enough. Hey, USA Voyager, what's going on? And I played, of course, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Friday night. Nothing really exciting to happen on that. Like, I'm not like pro enough to actually like do like trick shots or anything. So,
yeah. Your main objective is just to win. Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the chicken.
And even that, I didn't really win. I still haven't won. I've gotten close numerous times, but just that last 10 minutes or so, I just always fail.
Gotcha.
Always fail.
Have you tried doing that thing we were talking about with voice meter and in your guys' headphones when you guys are playing together?
Evie, yeah. Yep.
So like it was working out pretty good?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I heard her and she heard me, so I think it worked out.
Success.
Perfect.
Nice.
So my dad in chat is USA Voyager, and he is a little baby and can't handle strong coffee. So he makes his coffee all weak and like his little baby coffee, and I drink my coffee, man coffee that stunts your growth and puts hair on your chest coffee.
Yeah, well, that second one didn't really happen. Also, the first one didn't happen either. So.
Oh, being called out live on stream.
Don't talk about my chest hairs. There's none. I don't even have little thingies, like little prickles.
Peach fuzz.
Well, I mean, don't worry about it. You're not missing out on a whole lot. It's just more reasons for your body to sweat.
Yeah.
So, maybe someday you'll grow one chest hair, Matt. And that day you can just like brush it and comb it and everything.
Just moisturize it.
Put a little pomade.
It says my coffee can't be eaten by a fork. Your coffee, you could see to the bottom of the glass, okay?
All right, enough about coffee.
All right, I'm sorry. It's a hot button issue.
Hot
coffee issue. I finished up Resident Evil 7 for the YouTube channel, finally.
Yay.
Nice.
For the third time playing, and it was all right. It kind of loses its grandeur after the third time because you just know what to do. There's no surprises left, really.
With those games like that, I always look at them as kind of like one and done.
Yeah.
Like unless there's DLC. Like I have no aspiration to go back and replay Resident Evil.
Yeah, the experience is like very.
But like when I played it, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
Just
and the gameplay is fun.
Yeah.
Like it's a good game. It's just the actual experience of it, like you said, it's just you can only do it once, and then it's like, oh yeah. He's going to pop up. Oh, yeah, he's going to do that thing.
It's the same thing with movies with, like, twist endings, You watch the movie with the twist ending once, and, I mean, watching it a second time might be useful to see, like, the clues, but then after that, nah.
Yeah, it's just like, meh, whatever. But, yeah, that's pretty good there. I've started playing a little bit of Pyre, which that's actually pretty fun, pretty dope.
What's that about?
I also have played I did the tutorial, and I was like, the combat is not for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not really combat. It's
like
basketball,
football. Or, basketball's
football,
better.
basketball, something like that, yeah. I think it's actually pretty fun. I enjoy it. Like, the story's pretty fun. It's about, basically, you wake up on this thing called the Hollow Grounds, or like Down Grounds, or something, Downside, something like that.
Yeah, like the Down Grounds, yeah.
And as far as you can tell, you've been exiled there for reading from some other place. I can't remember what the main place is called, but and a group of other exiles find you, and they're like, wait, wait, you can read? Oh, holy shit, you're our savior.
Did you
you're
lie
our
to
best
them?
friend. No, I was just like, yeah, I read. Did you lie to them?
No, I thought about it though. I was like, because at that point it's never told to you that you know how to read. So I was like, what the fuck? Do I know how to read? I had like a little introspection. I was like, oh shit, what if I lie to them and I don't know if I can read or not?
Weighed the options for like a half hour. I'm like, fuck. What if they never trust me ever again? Oh god. But I just told them like, yeah, I can read. So what? They're like, oh, you're my best friend. Yeah. No, I enjoy it so far. I've beaten 4 or 5 rituals. It's kind of fun because you get like a new companion like every time you beat a ritual, and they have like different ways to how to play the game and whatnot.
Interesting.
So that's
I did the first ritual, I think, and I was like, no. I thought the art and the whole everything about that game is amazing. Like the art and everything is so gorgeous. But like I'm like, it's like this is killing me. This is so boring.
Man. Well, yeah, if you don't connect with like the story or if you don't like the actual gameplay part of the game, then it's not going to be for you. It's pretty much like it's like it's just not going to work out. But if you're willing to enjoy the ride, then you can pretty much hook onto that for hours and hours and hours.
Nice.
And then on my phone, I've been playing the new Galaxy of Pen and Paper for a little bit, which this is pretty fun. But
is that like a second version of the original?
It's like the sequel, quote unquote, to Knights of Pen and Paper, where basically they just kind of updated all the graphics and
put it in
gameplay
space.
styles and put it in space.
Space.
Pretty much, but yeah, it's actually enjoyable if you want to put $5 down to play that. And then I found out that Capcom has a bunch of like their old DS games on the fucking iOS store.
Really?
So yeah, I don't know. Like they had Phoenix Wright and other games, but I downloaded Ghost Trick and I've been playing halfway through that, which that's like a pretty simple thing. You basically you have ghost powers and you're supposed to figure out the mystery of your death.
Danny Phantom.
Or actually, they're called Ghost Tricks. Actually, sorry.
Ghost Tricks. So
yeah,
do you go through the whole game with like a skateboard and shit?
Tony Hawk's Pro Ghoster.
180 Pro Ghost manual, but that's pretty fun. I mean, it's not too hard considering games nowadays. You pretty much just interact with the environment, try to make people do what you want to do. Basically, each level is like you trying to prevent a death happening to somebody.
Oh, that's cool.
You play
that's cool.
You play like the last 4 minutes before they died and just stop it.
Oh,
but
that's nice.
Story's pretty intriguing. You can play the first 3 chapters for free, and then you can buy the rest of the game for $10 or buy certain chapters for like $5 for some reason. I don't know.
Hey, how's it going, Sophie?
What's going on? All the way from Britain. But that's it for all the games I played this week, because I've actually played a decent amount this week. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
Gold star for me. Fuck, I ran out of gold stars. God damn it.
Got to go back to the store and get some more.
All right, I'll be right back. No.
You should get like a board behind you, and it'll just have little gold stars on it.
And got it. Nailed it.
Sick.
Hey, what did you two play this week?
Well,
we had a shit day in Smash 4.
Oh, today.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god. Yeah. Neither of us were doing very well.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, so
thanks, Sophie, for the follow.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Basically, the day started out, and I mean, both Matt and I were like, "Yeah, oh, there it goes. Let's play some fucking Smash 4. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're hyped. Yeah."
And then, what was the first game? It was, I think, second episode for you. I ended up playing Villager.
Oh god, I was playing Meta Knight.
And I was playing Villager, Matt was playing Meta Knight. And the difficult thing about Villager is his recovery, his or her, you could choose, whatever. It's ridiculous. Basically,
it's really good.
Most people's up Bs, they like launch you up in the air for like a short bit, and then you get back, and you have to be a certain distance to make it. Otherwise, it's just too far away. Or
this villager motherfucker can be at the very bottom of the screen and just float his way up with his little balloons. And you're like, oh yeah, just pop his balloons. Yeah.
Because you can pop the balloons and make them fall.
It doesn't. That doesn't always work. Sometimes you hit the balloons, sometimes they don't pop, and you're like, why?
Oh.
Also, sometimes you can hit the balloons, and if you accidentally hit villager at the same time,
you get your up B back.
I get my up B back, which means more balloons. And villager is crazy because he's a small guy. He's very zony and floaty, so he's not very fast paced. And so he has these balloons that allow him to go almost anywhere. Like the amount of time you have them is ridiculous. You can go underneath the stage and come up the other side. You can come from way far out and all the way down and come all the way back up if you want to. On top of that, he has a wall jump, which is something that he absolutely doesn't need because he doesn't need the help of jumping off the wall to give himself more vertical lift. He doesn't need any of that, but he has it. Fuck it, right? So Matt had a hell of a time. We had like the longest battles. Both characters are semi easy to kill. They have low health and are launched pretty easily. But he couldn't finish me off because Villager has such a small hitbox. It's hard to hit him with Meta Knight's one kill.
It's fine. It was shitty. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we played the next episode, and it's like I played Fox versus Lucas, and I destroyed Spencer.
Yeah.
And then the next episode,
well, I switched to Ness.
And I still beat him.
And you still beat me. Yeah. I just couldn't get it done. Like it was so frustrating.
And then the next episode, I played Lucina. And Lucina's probably one of my top characters that I play.
From Fire Emblem.
Played her like shit.
Oh, okay.
And then Spencer played Charizard. Fucking low tier, trash Charizard. I got wrecked. I won one game.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was bad. So Smash 4, not a good day.
No, we both got pretty salty.
I hardly ever get salty. But that fucking Villager Meta Knight put me on tilt.
Yeah.
All recorded.
All recorded, yeah. It's going to come out probably not this upcoming week, but next week. You'll be able to see it all as it unfolds. Nice. But besides that, we played Melee yesterday. Melee wasn't actually that bad. It was pretty good.
Nice.
Nothing bad to say about that. We did our usual stream stuff. So Monday we did Tales of Berseria. Anything notable that happened with Tales of Berseria?
No.
Not like anything crazy with the story just yet. It's it's in that slightly middle area where you're just doing a bunch of stuff. And then we did, of course, we did Into the Veil, where we all played about 40 minutes of Deadly Premonition.
Oh, I was going to mention that there's a mod to make it run better.
For Twitch,
Split? In general. It's like it optimizes it a little bit better.
So maybe it'll stream better.
Okay,
cool. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Maybe Matt can point you in the right direction.
Hit me up.
Yeah, Into the Veil is something that we do every Tuesday on Content Complete, and as well as here still, but we're eventually going to be moving, fully over there. And it's supposed to be an hour and a half long, and we had so many technical difficulties that we didn't actually get it going until the last 40 minutes. And it was pretty crazy, but we saved it for the most part. Whatever.
The 40 minutes of gameplay was actually pretty fun because we were all frustrated and worn out anyway. So we're just like, "What the fuck is this? Why is this happening? Why is she walking backwards? What? God damn it!
What the hell?"
I think we started off with pedophilia jokes, actually, if I remember right. So
yeah,
did we?
Yeah. That was the pedo jokes.
Yeah. Okay. Classic Into the Veil. Am I right?
What else? Oh, I was going to say, we did a bunch of testing on Saturday or Sunday of the Tuesday before we stream Into the Veil, and everything went perfect.
Yeah,
no issues.
Everything was great.
None. We go to stream it on Tuesday. Literally, the only thing that was missing was all of our houses burning on fire.
Yeah, everything was bad.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Actually, voice meter worked great.
Yeah, actually, that wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
I'm using it now. Yeah, thanks, voice meter.
And then
we played Shadow of Mordor on Wednesday.
Nice.
And we're getting a bit farther than that. Again, it's kind of in that middle area. I mean, we took out a Graug, which is kind of cool.
Ooh, the big guys?
Yeah. We are doing the quest for Torvin, where he teaches you how to...
Torvin
the dwarf.
Good old Dwarven the Dwarf.
Yeah, so we did that.
Do you know how to ride them yet?
That was what that was.
Nice. I don't know. I can't remember if that was the thing or not.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
And
then Matt's been playing a ton of Persona 5.
Yeah, I played about 20 hours of Persona 5.
Persona 5, what's that?
Oh my god, well, Persona 5 is like a little like high school simulator game, but then is also mixed in with a bunch of crazy like heists and stuff. I don't know.
And the storyline's like real.
Yeah, it's real.
It's dark.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Like-
the first boss is like, oh Jesus, stop it.
I just sexually harassed the female students, and you're like, okay, well, I'm
No,
gonna have to kill you for that.
You're a fucking monster.
You got to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
That's pretty much like, fight the Power Simulator 2017.
Yeah.
Or fight the Adult Simulator 2017.
Yeah.
For teenagers in high school, they do say grown-ups a lot more than I've ever said it in my entire life.
I noticed that as well.
Like, if grown-ups are going to act this way, I don't want to deal with that.
They
Man,
talk
it's
like they're 13, but they're 16 and 17.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you talking like you're almost a
You're
grown-ass
almost an
man.
adult.
You're a couple years from being one of them.
Yeah, you gotta get your shit figured out, dude.
Also, it tackles a lot of like really like taboo stuff. Like the people that you can romance in that game, they're not all your age.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like later on. Yeah.
Yeah. Like okay.
All right. Well, that's fine.
And then what else? Oh, I really the thing about that game that I like a lot is that it has so much like character. You know what I mean? Like it just oozes its like own theme.
Oozes style and
yeah.
charisma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
Sophie,
really well put together.
If you feel offended, don't feel offended unless you say grown-ups like 15 times a day when regarding to like other people close to your age.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main difference, you know.
Yeah.
Persona 5 in a little bit of a nutshell.
It's like, grown-ups, man.
What else? But yeah, the game just has so much character, and when you're doing the palaces or whatever, you have to do once you get to the end of the palace, this is like big dungeons and boss rooms or whatever. You have to plan like a heist of how you're going to steal the treasure. So, it reminded me a lot of Sly Cooper, like the way. That
and you love Sly Cooper.
Yeah. It really
the way they go in depth with like what steps you're gonna take and like or
I'm just waiting for Bentley to come on up with a little turtle guy and okay Sly, I'm gonna hack this and then you're gonna run through that. I'm like, yeah, let's go Bentley.
Yeah, the way that they choreograph everything together and kind of do a lot of it's a lot of like classic thief type tropes or jewel thief, a lot of the classic stuff, but they do it in like an interesting way, and it's not like it's boring or a tired way of approaching it. So it just gives it a bit more charm for those parts of the game.
And I will say that when you're not doing the palaces or in the mementos, even the student simulator part is still really engaging, and and also really fun.
Constantly improving yourself.
I finished the second palace with like 12 days to spare on the little like timetable or whatever. And I was just like, I'm just going to build up my stats and going to go eat this burger and I'm going to go to the bathhouse on Monday.
Have you done the burger? The burger challenge?
I have done the burger challenge. I beat the first burger.
I beat the first
but I found out that it's kind of you can do the burger challenge for gut stuff, but also I found out if you go to the diner in that area,
you can get a coffee.
And you just get a coffee. No, you just get guts because you're like basically paying like 5 cents for a cup of coffee and you're not buying anything else. I like how that's how you get your guts because you have the balls to stay there for like 5 hours just drinking coffee instead. It's like, are you really just gonna buy coffee? Are you? You got some guts, dude.
And you get a little knowledge because you're studying.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? You're the chosen one of going to loitering at restaurants.
A lot of those, all the ways that you get your stats or your social stats are really kind of funny that way. Like you get charm from just hanging out in the bathhouse.
Yeah.
Like you get charm. Like why? Why do you get charm?
Because your hygiene's better.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, that's also confusing though, because it seems like the only time you take a shower or bath is when you go to that bathhouse.
Yeah.
Because at the coffee house, I don't think you have a shower.
No.
Oh, like at the place they actually live?
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't know.
So I think literally like the only reason why you get charm points is because you don't smell like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because you actually took the time to bathe once a week.
Yeah, those public bathhouses are pretty big in Japan from what I've heard. But I would still hope that you would have like a home shower that you could just
I think they do.
I think they do.
We're
But
just
maybe
talking about
it's more but in the game, it doesn't even like you never see a bathroom.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, you live in the attic now. Make it cozy. Tend to your plants. Work on shit.
What else? Oh, the one thing I don't like is the stats that you have to raise. They give you no inclination of how far away you are from gaining a second level, or or doing any of that. I feel like that's kind of needlessly disruptive. Like it's needlessly like why not just put like a little gauge or that you have to
even
fill
do the
up.
same thing that they do with when you are raising your social interaction with other people. They'll give you kind of like a gauge, be like, I feel like I'm really, my bond is going to, grow deeper with this person. You're like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm going to go up a level, right? But with the guts or charm or whatever, it just kind of like, oh, you got some more points.
And it's like,
but
I'm a star.
But you don't know when you're going to move up, so...
So it's really hard to kind of plan what activities you're going to do and
because things have requirements, like you can't do certain stuff if you have too low of guts. Like I think there's a thing where you're trying to ask to see if this seller has a gun, and it takes guts to ask him if he has a gun, and you have to have like high guts.
It's like level, it's like dauntless or whatever.
Yeah,
I like how that's the thing. It's like, you're going to confront this store owner about the gun in the bag he gave you. Yeah, you probably should. I mean, whether you don't need guts to kind of do that, you just kind of need like, hey, why did you give a teenager in high school a fucking gun?
Yeah.
That's more like a knowledge check, I think. I don't know. I don't know. It's like, wait a minute. This doesn't add up at all.
I feel like they needlessly hide that for some reason. And Persona 4 was like that too. You're like, I have no idea when I'm going to go up a level. I can't plan for anything.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just try this until I get something.
Yeah.
That was something that I, it doesn't really bother me, but it's something that I noticed when playing Tales of Berseria is, as compared to other JRPGs, you don't know, like, what you're going to be getting when you level up. I don't know what abilities that I unlock until I've unlocked them.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know when I'm going to unlock them either. So it's weird because it doesn't really bother me because you have so many abilities and you get them before you get bored with the current ones. But I'd like to know kind of
how
what
to plan
I can do.
Your attack.
Yeah, like because everything else is so it's so specific when it comes to points and having certain amounts for this and certain amounts of that, and there's a lot of planning involved. But then that one thing, you just don't know what you're going to be getting next. You don't know what you need to do to get certain stuff. It just kind of happens.
It feels like almost an oversight, but in every game that they've made.
Yeah, because it's in Tales of Zestiria as well. You just kind of get
it's in Tales of Symphonia.
You just get abilities when they give it to you, and you're like, oh, okay. I guess maybe I can look up and know when you get stuff. Maybe it's just super linear. Maybe that's why they don't talk about it.
That's probably why, yeah.
But
I don't have real complaints with it. I mean, the music, it's good music, but, once you've fought 500 monsters, you should have seen it coming, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you talking about Persona 5 or
Persona 5.
Hey,
Persona,
thanks for the
music.
follow, Zone.
Sup, Zone? Thanks a lot. 2018.
Thanks, Zone.
But, yeah, I mean,
overall,
Persona 5, I haven't played it, but I've just sat down, and it's actually, like, honestly... Like, Matt's like, hey, you want to play Final Fantasy 12? Like, we'll just wait till after we get to this point, because I want to see what happens. And a lot of social stuff, it's really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It's very interesting. Good shit.
Some of it, what is the word? Like, it feels out of place, but then, like, some of it doesn't feel out of place for high schoolers to be talking about and stuff like that. So
a lot of it's
like they nail some aspects of it and then kind of, like, flub the rest of it.
Like, as far as their attitude and the way they talk to each other. And
is all kind of very believable. Except for, obviously, grown-ups are bad, blah, 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 blah.
Grown-ups.
But about, like, 75% of the conversations they have make sense. They all have very strong, like, teenager-like goals. And the way that they approach particular issues or people, it has the same level of anxiety that you would expect from a high school student,
Yeah. And then the last thing I played like 4 hours of Final Fantasy 13.
13?
Yeah. I had played it a bit on the Xbox when it
first released.
When it first released, and I played it a little bit later on, but I never got past like the first 6 hours or so. And I didn't really have a huge problem with it, but I know a lot of people really disliked it for just the type of battle system it has, as well as how linear the game is. But what was your opinion on it?
I don't think it's as bad as people are saying. I think it's aged fine, and it seems like a natural progression from Final Fantasy 12. Looking at Final Fantasy 12 and the Gambit system and all that kind of shit that's in there, going to Final Fantasy 13
with the paradigms,
it literally seems like the next logical step
and
that they would have taken. So I don't know why everybody's like, oh, I can't believe it's not like, so and so, dude. If you played Final Fantasy 12, you knew this shit was coming.
Yeah,
this is like they literally. Like it's the progression of the mechanics. Like
they built upon the previous mechanics, because for those of you who don't know, Final Fantasy 12 runs on a system where you don't really have you're running around in the world, but when you fight people, you can give your other party members gambits that tell them to do things at certain points, and then otherwise they'll do everything themselves. And in Final Fantasy 13, you still go to like a battle screen when you fight, but you have things called paradigms where you're
basically just giving them roles, and then you just do it.
Yeah, and then you can switch out little combinations of roles for each character depending on the situation, and then you kind of just watch the battle unfold and just switch it at the right time. So I guess some people are upset that you don't have more agency over what happens, but I mean, it's still once you get later on, it gets pretty crazy knowing when to do stuff and like when to stay on a particular paradigm, and switching out kind of your combinations of things gets pretty in depth. And that was just 6 hours in for me.
Yeah,
that's why I heard like the beginning area is like just too linear for most people. It's just like you don't really get a choice. You don't really get to do anything except for press
fight.
A or whatever.
Yeah,
it is 100%.
Not even really
like
fight.
that.
You just press like A.
One thing that
okay,
Final Fantasy 13 got rid of that I'd forgotten about, but it's something that kind of annoys me in some JRPGs, is where they get to this point in their system where leveling no longer matters, where because in most games when you level, you then get something specific when you level, like you get a stat upgrade or you get like a new ability that you can choose or something like that. But in Final Fantasy, like say Final Fantasy 12, none of the leveling actually matters. Everything goes into gaining your license points and then purchasing your next ability separate from leveling. So the only thing you get from leveling is I think it just raises just some like blanket stats for that character, and they have you don't get to choose where the stats are even. Like each character has their own leans that you just have to play to. So certain characters are just going to be heavier or do more damage,
stuff,
and that's it. You don't have any agency over that. And Final Fantasy 13, they just got rid of the whole leveling system altogether.
Yeah, you don't level at all,
which is great because it was pointless in the first place.
Yeah. Like I was saying, it's 100% a natural progression from Final Fantasy 12. You can like it just
you can see it coming.
Yeah, you can see it coming.
So did we want to move on to the next topic? Let's go to, do we want to talk about Bethesda or Pokemon Go?
I'd say Pokemon Go, then we can talk about Bethesda, because I feel like that's going to be more of an open discussion.
I got you. Okay, so Pokemon Go Fest. We talked about this last time on the podcast, and we went over kind of how there was a kind of a controversy with how the whole event in Chicago went, and how it was kind of it just went bad. Everything went wrong. 20,000 people came to the event at I think it's Grant Park in Chicago, and 20,000 people couldn't play the game. And actually, something I didn't know before, but they waited in a 3-mile long line to get into the park.
3-mile long.
And 2 hours after the event had started, so the event started at like 12. The event started 2 hours afterwards at 2 p.m. There was still like 70% of the people that were supposed to be in there weren't in yet. So because of that, Niantic, the developers, had taken some action to kind of they reimbursed everyone the ticket fees for going, and they gave them $100 of their Pokecoins. So they reimbursed the entire cost of the admission to everyone who went there, and then gave them a little bit extra, and then they did some other extra stuff later on to try to make up for it.
I think, at the event, they also gave a Lugia for everybody.
Yeah, they released him early instead of trying to do their whole timed release, because they had a bunch of very specific timed stuff that they wanted to do, and that all completely went out the window because nobody had access to the game and it couldn't work. So in response to that, a particular person is filing a lawsuit, a class action lawsuit, where he specifies that it is himself as well as the class, which is assumed to be the entirety of the 20,000 plus people that went to the event, basically citing that they had misrepresented what was going on, and that there are people who not only paid the admission price but also traveled from far away to have a particular experience, and that experience wasn't met, and it was a huge inconvenience to them. So going over kind of, and I did some research. I sent you the links, Viscake. I'm not sure if you looked at it, but there is a PDF, and I can probably, Matt, you have the link too if you want to put that in the chat. There's a PDF, and let's see if I can reload this because it's not even loaded, of the actual lawsuit? Class action lawsuit. So I'm not going to go over the whole thing because it's multiple pages long, but the introduction reads, plaintiff, which is the person, plaintiff Jonathan Norton, brings a suit on behalf of himself and a class of similarly situated individuals regarding the Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago, Illinois. And so Niantic advertised the fest as 1 year anniversary celebration of one of the most popular mobile games, Pokemon Go, played by millions of people around the world every day. Don't care about that. Let's get to the good stuff. However, in reality, those in attendance of the fest were unable to play the game due to the defendant's failure to account for the number of people that attended the fest and technical problems with the game's software. These factors led to inter alia, the game being unplayable for those in attendance to the fest. So, my opinion of the current situation, because what the plaintiff is doing is he wants to file a class action lawsuit to cover unspecified damages to himself as well as everyone else in regards to the experience lost and the amount of money that he had to spend by flying from California to the event. So he's upset because he paid extra money to fly there and then didn't get any of what was promised.
Advertised thing,
the advertised things. Yeah. Well, my opinion of that is that according to the way that the lawsuit is laid out, he's not going to win the lawsuit, and more importantly, I don't believe that Niantic, and I want to stress that I'm not defending Niantic in any particular way. I don't care. I don't play the game, but I don't think that it's their responsibility to reimburse that amount because they've already reimbursed the $20 admission fee and have given extra because of the issue. And the reasons that he cites, and I don't want to spend time and read it all. This isn't what the podcast is about. But there's like 7 counts and of charges that he's trying to file against them. Half of which, or about 5 of which, are specifically referring to particular laws, both within the state of Illinois, and about 3 of them are all in the state of California. So I don't know how that's going to work, because the way local courts usually work, I don't know if he's going to try to do it in California or do it in Chicago, and whether or not those laws apply to the situation or not. And then there's a couple other things like something having to do with like enrichment, where they over advertised the game and over promised a bunch of stuff, and the underlying kind of tone that is brought across is not that they unknowingly did these things but they still are responsible. It's that they maliciously kept this information from us, and that they had to have known that this was going to happen, and that they didn't take the proper precautions and led people purposely astray and didn't give out the proper information.
Well, so that didn't change my opinion at all. I still think that Niantic is at fault. So he's saying, that they did it maliciously. How are you a mobile company and not understand that if you have a huge mobile event and stuff like that, all your like that fucks signals and everything like that?
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Like, they would have known that. Like, everybody knows that. So
yeah, I think the key thing is that he's the number one thing I think that actually would hold any water is that he's suing for false advertising, which they did say that they're going to have. That's even the paragraph here, that they advertised that those attending would be able to play the game. That's wrong. That with thousands of other players from around the world in one location, numerous special prizes, events, rewards available to those were those in attendance to the fest.
All fell through.
Well, they got their rewards, kind of, but they weren't able to participate in events. They weren't able to actually play the game to begin with, and that's like the only reason why I think this lawsuit would happen, and it makes sense. But then again, it's also kind of like a stupid lawsuit to begin with. For it's fucking Pokemon Go at the end of the day, honestly.
Well,
but
you got to look at it from their perspective, though, because
I'm totally agree with them there.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like at the end of the day, it's like, well, yeah, but yeah, like if you're flying all the way from California, you were saying Niantic said, hey, come here. It's gonna be a whole big shindig. Everybody's gonna play these games. You can participate in raids. You can hang out with your friends, do team shit. And when you go there, and they only have one person taking care of the tickets and the sign in, and you show up early even, and you're still waiting for 3-4 plus hours. I think like 2 to 3 hours into the waiting line, there was still like, according to one tweet, it's not like an actual statistic, but like somebody's like, hey, you do realize like 75% of your paying customers are still waiting in line to go into this event.
Yeah,
and
that's the one that I was referencing earlier. So yeah, it was 75%, not 70. But either way, it's still a tweet. So
no, it's not like real statistics, but like, but it's still
one thing that I wanted. One thing that I wanted to bring up is it's interesting because they list out all of the things that Niantic tried to do to fix the problem, and are still saying that they didn't do enough.
I don't think they did enough. What, are you going to give them 100 Pokecoins in their admission bag? Like,
no, I'm talking about in trying to solve the issue. They did like a ton of stuff to try to solve the issue. They like worked with the carriers to try to get like Wi-Fi on wheels to get people connected. They tried to fix the problem server side and redo everything. And they had a fix that fixed it for half the people, but not everyone else. And
again, though, that's the onus is on Niantic. They should have been prepared. Like, they should have known. They should have had that stuff in the background ready to go.
Yeah,
like
I see your point, Spencer, but it's like what Matt's saying, that they knew 200,000 people were coming to the event. It'd been different. It was like a Friday the 13th deal. We're like, oh, we got 5 times the number of people that signed up for this. Oh shit, our servers are down. But like, they knew 200,000 people were coming, and they still didn't have at least 2 ticket lines or whatever, or then they didn't have good servers, and they weren't prepared.
Yeah,
they should have been prepared. They said they were going to be prepared.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I'm not disputing that fact. Like the situation totally sucks for people who went, and I would be really pissed off about that. I personally wouldn't, like, I feel like it's on the person for purchasing the ticket and flying out there. There's a reasonable chance that something isn't going to go correctly when it comes to server issues, and it's.
But again, though, it's on Niantic for them to.
Let me go on to the next thought that I was trying to get into. So I feel like if they were to win anything out of this lawsuit, it would not be the entire thing. It would be a partial win, and the reason for that is in Niantic's terms and agreement for the game, they specifically state. Let me see if I can find it here. Arbitration notice. Except if you opt out and except for certain types of disputes described in the agreement to arbitrate section below, you agree that disputes between you and Niantic will be resolved by binding individual arbitration, and you are waiving your right to a trial by jury or participate as a plaintiff or class member in any purported class action or representative proceeding. So half of the issues that they're talking about are not going to be liable in court because half of the issues have to do with server problems and not being able to play the game, which they, in their terms and conditions, they've protected themselves from, as well as they say at the very, very, very end of their terms and conditions. They also state, what is it? I'm not trying to get into too much of it, but they say, to the extent permitted by applicable law, neither Niantic nor TPC or blah, 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 or any other party involved in creating, producing any of this will be liable for any indirect, incidental, special, punitive, exemplary, or consequential damages, including lost profits, loss of data, or goodwill service interruption, computer damage or system failure, or the cost of substitute services.
Oh, yeah, you already won with the saying that terms of use, you can't do a class action lawsuit. So if you sign up to do the game, you can't do this thing.
Now,
so
with the events
that makes
and
sense.
Waiting outside, that can be argued for. But any of the actual server issues and connectivity issues is not going to work in court.
I don't
unless
I
they
don't know
can
if
prove
that's,
that it was malicious.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think that's.
Yeah.
I think there you could get around that pretty easily.
I think it makes it difficult.
If you have like it makes it difficult. But I think they should be reimbursed for their flights. And like $100 in Pokecoins and stuff like it means nothing. Like that's not enough, especially if you flew all the way out there, took time off work, and did all this stuff.
Well, okay, so here's a good question. So when there's say a rock show for a band, and they put on a show, but then like right after they started, they cancel the show, and nobody gets to see the band, and everyone's upset about it. What do those theaters do? Do they just...
Well, it's not. It's the theaters aren't the ones handling it. They're renting out their venue.
Okay, so the band usually pays back the amount to the people who spent to go there to reimburse them, but they never reimburse the travel costs. So why is this event different?
Because there's like billions of people playing the game, and they're trying
Well,
it's not like a rock show where you're like you go there, you listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
This was like an event where they had things. They didn't have any backup plans. They didn't, they weren't organized. They didn't do any of the shit that they were supposed to do to make the event run smoothly to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and
then
that makes sense.
Yeah,
I just wanted to ask the question to kind of put.
because I thought about that as well.
Yeah. It's a good question,
but to me, it is deeper because it's not. You're just not going there to listen to music.
And honestly,
you're going there. They advertised this whole big thing. They did all this other shit.
They advertised very specific stuff that was going to happen, like down to the times of when certain rates were going to occur. So, I mean, in all honesty, when I first heard about it, these guys were here. I said that they were being little bitches about it. After looking at the class action, it is a situation where I can understand where people are upset. More importantly, although I don't think that they're going to win, just based on the way the terms and conditions are, and whether or not there's any previous cases that have a similar type of thing that have worked. What's that called when there's one case that allows you to make certain actions based on similar cases in the future?
It's usually like something versus something.
I don't know if there's any precedent for this, or if this would be setting the precedent. But most importantly, there's something that they're asking them to do that would be required by law if the judge agrees to it, which is they're asking them to, for all future events, be completely open and honest about the expectations and what's going on, to give fans like a better idea as to what they should be expecting, as well as taking specific action to completely update their software and their servers to make up for these types of situations so they don't happen in the future. That's literally, and that's something that I would want. Like even not even playing the game, just being a person where putting more of that type of pressure on companies to make that move needs to happen more often, because I mean Niantic is known for having poor communication with the players and poor kind of just overall stability when it comes to the game and how it plays. I mean it's actually kind of poetic that their year anniversary of the game
was a travesty.
Just like the release of the game.
It was a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it was a dumpster fire.
Oh shit! Also, Livinger, we weren't ignoring you. I was just waiting for Spencer to stop talking.
Sorry.
We got to get our points across. It's a talk show.
Yeah. So this guy, so basically, this guy's bummed that this Pokemon thing wasn't as cool as he wanted. I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. I think it's not as. I don't think it's as black and white as.
As that, yeah.
I mean, it is a game, and so if you view it from just that angle, it's like, oh god, this guy's just getting upset over like a little event in a game. But it's also like 20,000 people going to an event, and everything's based off of
advertised that they're going to be able to do stuff,
and they advertised a lot of stuff like specific
with no
times,
backup plans,
specific
or anything
release
like that.
Times for things.
Like, oh my god, you couldn't have paid me to go.
I mean, I would have gone anyways.
And if I had planned it, oh man, I would have contingency plans on top of contingency. The damn Wi-Fi trucks would have already been there.
Yeah.
Ready. All right. I wouldn't have had one person. I wouldn't have had two people. I wouldn't have had three people checking tickets, I would have had like 10, as many as I could
At
hire.
least, yeah.
What's crazy is that you have rock shows that put on shows for people, or any kind of music show. They have like 4 or 5 people doing tickets, and they get those people in like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Like
they have
the
to
one,
pat them
like the
down
couple
and
rock
everything
shows
like
I've
that.
been to, they had at least 2.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so
Which is
that was
one more than
an
my
absolute
Niantic had.
oversight, and that's something that makes me wonder: is that something that is necessarily Niantic's fault? Like, sure, they're putting on the show, but is that something that they control as far as the tickets and admissions person?
If they hired the people, the company, it's on them.
So is it on Niantic, or is it?
No, it's on Niantic.
It's principally on Niantic, but then that company also loses out on the goodwill and services that they didn't provide. But
yeah, I mean, and then it's not like Niantic is some indie dev, right? They
not
made
anymore.
They
Yeah.
made so much money off of Pokemon Go. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
They are rolling in it. So fuck them.
And yeah,
Let them burn.
Theoretically, they dropped technically $200,000 in Pokecoins, which is fake money, which I mean still can count the profits or whatever.
Yeah, on top of
The
the
$20 refunds.
The $400,000 of reimbursement.
200. It'd be 4 million. 200 times 20. That'd be 4 million, wouldn't it?
No, well, 20,000 people, 20,000 tickets.
Oh, 20,000. Okay,
yeah, so
sorry.
it would be $400,000.
Yeah, 400.
That they
Never
gave
mind.
back to them, and they were able to do that with no problem.
And then probably like another $400,000 in reimbursement for their travel and shit. Easy peasy. They could like.
I mean, it's probably going to cost them like close to $1 million for the travel, because a ticket's like $100, $200.
Yeah.
Easily, yeah. But
So and that's not
kinda
counting
some
people
of
who
this-
came from outside of the country. It's just, I don't know. Like I can understand why they're upset. I wouldn't have gone to the event, and even when I was upset, I would never expect someone to pay for my travel costs. But
just kind of like an ending question for this: do you guys think this lawsuit will pass, or do you think a similar lawsuit will pass for this event? Maybe not necessarily like a class action lawsuit, but maybe like
I think there's
a couple
definitely
people are going to try to get this through.
a possibility that there could be that something. I mean, their terms of service, those are flimsy. Like they're not.
it
They're
only
not
applies to the
binding
game.
contracts. Like they're not like, they can be argued out of and stuff like that.
And it only applies to the game itself. It doesn't apply to the event. So
Yeah. So I feel the same. They're probably not on all the charges that they're asking for, but
They
they'll
definitely
probably at
cover
least
their
get for
bases.
false advertising.
yeah, because they
Yeah,
want
they're
to,
charging
like,
for like fucking everything.
yeah, if you go through all the different counts in there, like multiples of them like reiterate the same types of points to try to cover every possible angle that they could about the whole event. But yep, I mean, that's our opinions on the subject. If you guys in the chat, or if you're watching this on YouTube or wherever, have any comments, leave a comment down below, or
Just
email us.
put that shit in chat right now.
Yeah, or put that shit in chat.
Are you on Team Spencer or are you on Team Matt Cake?
Matt Cake.
Matt Cake. A take.
Well, Fiskate, where can people email us questions? Just so we get
You
that out of
can
the way.
email us questions, comments, or concerns at Content Complete. I haven't said it in 5 episodes, so I just completely fucked it up. ContentCompletecast@gmail.com.
Yeah, so send us stuff there if you guys have any questions or opinions on the subject, and maybe we'll respond to them next time. But the next subject, let's get to that right now, is in regards to Bethesda and whether or not they're turning out to be just like Ubisoft when it comes to oversimplifying their games. So, Fiskate, you want to start us off?
No. Yeah, I kind of like. It's kind of hard to let me think about for a
How
sec.
spelled drain? Never mind.
Rain, D-R.
Yeah, I got it.
D-rain,
Yeah.
kind of like a T-rain, But as for oversimplifying their games and kind of like making it like the same game over and over again, where like people, this is from like an r/games topic on Reddit that we took from, and we just want to talk about it. People were kind of making a comparison that Skyrim and Fallout 4 were pretty close to each other, like as in like mechanics wise, and
How they've watered down their RPG mechanics.
do they promise an open world RPG and deliver that? Yes, I agree with that 100%. But
Yeah, it's
do
pretty
they
open
like?
world.
You can like go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Well, you can go wherever you want. Sorry, you can do most things.
You can do most
But,
things, and those things are being lowered.
Yeah, Like compared to New Vegas, and which New Vegas is my favorite Fallout. I've played like almost 80 hours on that compared to Fallout 4. I have had like 50, and then like Fallout 3, I've probably beaten the game once with all the DLC, and that's pretty much it.
I probably have close to probably 300 to 400 hours in between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm underqualified for this.
Well, I think Matt, you on your playthrough through Fallout 4, you did about 60 hours.
Yeah.
Right. And then we also had our recording that we were doing for our channel, where we played the whole game as if we were
Jason Voorhees.
As if we were Jason Voorhees.
Oh yeah.
And I think we got to like episode 30-ish, or I don't remember exactly how many. It was maybe tops like 10 or 12 hours, and we gave up on the game.
Well, we didn't give up. It's just like they limit you in how much you can role play.
Yeah, so we're trying to role play as them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a kind of I guess a better grasp on how they've lowered, because I've played Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. I probably have like 400 to 500 hours in between all of those.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, and I don't know how you wouldn't know, but Bethesda, we're talking specifically about their two franchises. The Elder Scrolls and then Fallout. And their franchise with Fallout started with Fallout 3, and then they worked with another developer company, company called Obsidian, that it comprises of a group of people that had made a lot of classic RPGs back in the day that were really known for their story, which is where they made New Vegas, which was built kind of similarly to Fallout 3 with a bunch of extra stuff. And then they came out with Fallout 4 recently. On the other side, they've done the entirety of the Elder Scrolls series, starting with I think it's Dagger Run.
No,
it
doesn't matter.
Arena.
Anyways, so every iteration, every new issue of the Bethesda's RPGs, they get less and less RPG. So in Fallout 3, you had a karma system where if you did bad things, your people would be like, I don't know, this dude, he seems like, pretty shady. And the world would kind of revolve, be like, they would kind of know you. You'd be infamous or you'd be famous, kind of. And you had like, you had stats and stuff. You had perks and stuff that you could add to your shit, to your character and stuff like that.
And more importantly, it was like personal interactions when it comes to the karma system, and like in faction agreements.
Yeah. So then you also had skilled checks. So like if you were really good at talking to people, you could talk your way out of a bunch of shit, and you never had to fight or whatever. And in New Vegas, Obsidian, they love RPG shit, so they added a ton of that. So their karma system was crazy, where you would gain and lose karma for things. They had skilled checks for everything. Where if you didn't have like a certain amount of demolitions or something like that, you couldn't defuse a bomb, and you'd have to find another way to, defuse the bomb. And in Fallout 4, which Bethesda made, there's none of that. There's no karma system, and there's 0 skill checks.
I was actually shocked too. No karma system. I couldn't even I thought we didn't know something or something like that.
Yeah. So they took that out completely. They also made your path of skills and stuff like that. And the other 2 Fallout games, you could basically, you could play like a suave gunslinger, or you could play like a crazy demolitions guy. And in Fallout 4, they kind of take that all away, and by the time you're like level 40, you've maxed out on everything. Like you have all the perks. You don't really, there's no role to be played.
Yeah, at the end it becomes super homogenized, and you're just like everyone ends up playing the same character at the end.
Yeah, and
I think like a good comparison for this is that Fallout 3's first quest outside of the vault is that you can the first time you encounter, you can either blow it up or you
defuse
can
the bomb.
Defuse the bomb. Where Fallout 4's first quest is you can save settlers, or you can save settlers sarcastically.
Yeah,
and that's it. Like there's no real choice. It's like, oh, I guess I'll save you.
Or it's like, yeah, I'll save you.
Yeah,
I'll save you.
Or
I'm a hero.
Not right now, but I'll come back later and do it
because I have to.
Save you, yeah.
So they had said, oh well, we're doing that because you have a voice protagonist. So in Fallout 4, they added a voice protagonist, which your character that you play is voiced, which really like lowered the fucking bar for convos with NPCs and stuff like that. So you would talk and you'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this," and every answer basically boiled down to, and I'm not joking, yes, yes, no, and then yes, sarcastic. That's not a joke. It was real.
Yeah, and like you couldn't just not do something.
Yeah, about 75% of the conversations, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna help us? No, not right now. I'll do it later." Or yes,
I'll do it now
if you pay me money in your ass or something like that. And then you're like, "Oh, that's sarcastic one," and then stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they totally watered it down, and it's like, I don't know. Fallout 4 is not nearly as enjoyable to me as Fallout 3 in New Vegas were.
Well, because you didn't get railroaded nearly as much.
Yeah, you get railroaded really hard in Fallout 4.
And in fact, the choices that you make as far as in conversations are so bad, and it's so exactly like that there are mods that change all of the
dialogue to say what you're really going to say.
To say exactly what you're really going to say, and it's literally that. It's the template every single goddamn time. You can't make any choices. You can't choose who you're going to be. There aren't factions, but it's like it's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Like it doesn't change a whole bunch except for like maybe the way it ends overall. And then on that level of choice is completely lost in Fallout 4.
On the Elder Scrolls side of things, they've been watering down mechanics since. The big one is Morrowind to Oblivion. Morrowind, you only leveled up if you used the skills that you had. So you have a bunch of, you have like, I don't know, like 100 skills. You got jumping, you got athletics, you got whatever. And so you would like jump across the land as you're walking, and then you would level up your athletics or whatever. So they had a ton of these. And that's the only way that you could level those is by doing them, by using them.
Like real life. And
in Oblivion, you still did that, but they lessened the amount of skills that needed to like 50 or 30. It was like ridiculously small.
Yeah.
And again, they railroaded you into these are the classes that you can pick, and you're going to kind of follow a template.
You got it, Maywin.
Yeah. So then in Skyrim, they took out all of that. You don't level up by using your skills anymore. You just like put points into shit.
Yeah, like a bit more of a standard thing.
They took out unarmed completely, so you can't go around fisting people. I know Fizzcake.
My one job.
Yeah, he can't play Skyrim because of this.
Yeah,
I have to download mods. Fuck.
Yeah.
So it's just their progression of just watering everything.
Yeah, they're
down.
trying to make it more.
They're trying to make it to the mass appeal when their real successes were Morrowind and Fallout 3, which had a decent amount of role playing too.
Yeah. Like what he was talking about with the classes and railroading you into specific classes in between Morrowind and Oblivion. In Morrowind, you had like an insane level of control over the exact combination of classes that you would or things that you put together to make your class, and it was like a unique class almost every time. You could pick archetypes, but you could go in there and just like specifically get exactly what you wanted. And then Oblivion, they went with a more
streamlined approach.
Streamlined, like, hey, you're this class, and then you pick this one other thing, and that's it.
I wouldn't say it's that bad, but it's just a lot more streamlined. In Skyrim, it's that bad.
Yeah, and it's more like that in Skyrim. And although they did make those changes, I feel like Oblivion was still like a really good game, and it didn't lose like its good gameness, and you could still role play, but it absolutely like took out a bunch of the role play ability that Morrowind had. And going into Skyrim, and like what we're trying to talk about today is how far are they going to go? Like, is Skyrim is the next game in the Elder Scrolls series?
Yeah, exactly right, Mayun.
Is the next game in this Elder Scrolls series going to be more like Fallout 4? In which case, it's going to hurt me, but I'm not sure that I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
So kind of like.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Just to kind of like I don't know, have like a good question about this, or a quick question I could think of for the next Fallout game. Comparison to Fallout 4, you can only add one thing and you can only take away one thing.
Add a karma
What
system.
would you do?
Add a karma system.
Add a what?
Add a karma system.
Karma system. Okay.
And take away a voice protagonist.
No, I would.
Okay.
I would.
All right.
I would add more variety in the builds that you can do for your character, and then take away radiant quests. So
what do you mean by radiant quests?
So radiant quests are literally they're computer generated quests that you get from NPCs.
Oh,
so,
the seller
like
quest.
extra stuff that just kind of like redoes itself over and over again.
over and over again. I killed the same dude on the same stump for the hand or the fist or what are they? The black hand or whatever they're
I
called.
think it's the Black Hand.
The Assassin's Guild.
Oh yeah.
Like 16 times before I was like, I don't think I'm going to level up anymore because this is the same shit. I didn't realize it was the radiant questing. I was done with that storyline. So is there easy out to be like, look, we have endless quests and we have endless...
The game never truly ends. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go kill this guy 16,000 times on the stump. Poor guy, living in purgatory.
Yeah.
He just wants to cut his wood.
I mean,
He just wants to chop some wood.
if I want to play the game of Genie, then I would change mine from add a karma system to add like effective dialogue choices, which would include the karma system because you wouldn't be able to have that without a karma system.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There are a lot of games that do a
pretty much
voice
sums it up,
protagonist really good.
Yeah.
Mass Effect is one of them.
Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I could be a
Good
total
points.
asshole, and you're like, yeah, my dude's a total asshole.
My dude.
What would you do, Fiskate? What would you add and remove?
Oh, I didn't know.
You can't
I
ask a
didn't-
question, dude, and then be like, not have an answer, buddy.
I do like how the way Fallout 4 and Skyrim has like a bunch of shit, because compared to like New Vegas and Fallout 3, you can only go to certain areas, and you can like literally open every fucking door, which you pretty much can in Skyrim and Fallout 4.
I do like that.
But
yeah.
that's pretty cool. So kind of agreeing with Spencer on like the whole dialogue choice, the karma system, because that would add more variety
That would
to
add
the
a lot of variety to your playthrough.
Yeah.
at least double than what Fallout 4 already has. I mean, even if you just have a
Yeah.
you just literally have a good or bad, don't even have a neutral, that doubles the options for your game right there. So I would add that. I would probably take away the comparing Fallout 4 to Fallout 5. Maybe I would get rid of the special weapons only because your special weapons don't look any different, don't feel a whole lot different from any other weapons of the same type. They just have a different status, like, oh, this is gonna doubly knock out people, or oh, this is gonna do this or whatever.
I do feel like they took direction, or they took a right direction when they added the crafting, because in the past Fallout and Bethesda games, you can pick up almost everything. Oh, you see a plate on a table, you can pick that up and carry it around with you for as long as you want. You can. There's a candlestick. There's a candle. Oh, put that shit in my backpack. I'm gonna go sell that. So the way that they combated this is that you can break all those materials down and build shit, which is cool. And I think they should keep that.
Yeah,
but maybe not do exactly what you were saying, which feels like they're trying to give players a choice, but just in a different, more like kind of specific way.
all it did was give you like stats. Like all it is like, this does this, but why does it do that? Like, is there a reason? Is it like super?
It's really nonsensical. Like you put two things together, and it's like, oh, now it's a chain electric thing. You're like, okay,
I didn't have
what
any
is this,
chain
Dead Rising?
in this, but you know,
yeah, like the fucking the roller pin. I don't know why this is like my number one problem with a fucking rolling pin, but you have the regular rolling pin, and then you have the one that like it can knock down people twice as well. Oh.
Yeah, it's like
but
there's
it's
no
literally
change.
the same
you're
exact
like,
type.
You're like, yeah, I'm gonna roll with this one. It's a rolling pin. I'm about to batter these bitches.
Wow, that's actually
Oh,
pretty
and
good.
regards to Maywin, I don't remember any closed doors, but you're probably right. I haven't played in a while, but
There's probably some close
specific
doors.
compared to like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4, I felt like Fallout 4 had less like, here's a big building. Oh no, you can't go
No,
in there.
you
What
can't
the
get
fuck?
in there.
No.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Fallout
places.
3 definitely had that problem.
Oh my god!
Oh,
if you
yeah.
go through the Capital Wasteland port, I'm sorry, the actual capital port of part of the Capital Wasteland, like you just walk
yeah.
through just hallways in a bunch of just like pre-generated, you can't go here places.
Yeah. Like the whole city is like, yeah, you can go in like 2 or 3 buildings. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, so they've opened up
That's
the
a whole
worlds.
city.
They've opened up the worlds a lot,
Also,
but they've also
if
cost you choices.
If I could have a third wish,
Oh.
I would.
Aim for puberty.
I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah. If I could have a fourth wish, I would. I would. Be like, please update your shitty fucking engine.
Oh yeah.
The Gamebryo engine is trash nowadays. It's not good. You're putting band-aids on shit. It's not gonna. It's done.
It's really bad because
out.
there's a huge memory issue with Fallout 4. That it just like if you play for like long periods of time, or was it Fallout 4 or was it Skyrim, where if you played for a long period of time, and then you tried to save, like the game.
Fallout 3 had that.
Was that Fallout 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same engine. That's right, because we were playing a
and
modded
Skyrim
version.
on PS3 also had a memory leak problem.
Yeah.
Skyrim on PS3 was just fucking trash.
Yeah. We were playing a modded version of Fallout 3 that put it together with New Vegas, and so you had a bunch of New Vegas stuff in Fallout 3 called Tale of Two Cities. Pretty cool. Oh,
Tale of Two
Tales of
Wastelands.
Wastelands. Yeah. And but one of the major problems with that is when we were playing through it, like the game would just slowly fall apart the longer you played on the same save.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
but yeah, so I would be like, update your shit. Like, it's gonna cost a lot of money, but you make a lot of money.
Yeah, you could
You
probably
have a
afford
lot of money.
and since you're spending so much time waiting till the next iteration of this stuff,
What are you doing in the meantime?
yeah.
I know you ain't making Doom. You got ID doing that. You got freaking you're not making Wolfenstein. You got Machine Gun doing that. What are you doing,
Yeah.
Bethesda?
Yeah.
You're not
What
working
the
on
fuck?
the MMO. That's ZeniMax. They doing that. What the shit are you doing?
oh well, they're doing their Elder
shit.
Scrolls Legends card game, dude.
They got one
yeah.
thing. It's a card game.
I feel like Matt's gonna hang out with Dr. Dre pretty soon and give Bethesda a call.
Yeah.
For real.
But I guess let's
that
wrap
wraps us
this.
up.
Oh, games are delayed. Ark's delayed to August 29th, and Red Dead 2 is still delayed to 2018. Okay, we nailed it. Yeah.
All right,
Perfect show.
Chris, tell people where you can find them. We'll find you to follow you and stuff.
To find me, you can talk to me on Twitter at @thefistcake, which I tweet about every other day or so. And if you talk to me on there, I'll pay attention. I actually get my notifications from Twitter instead of
Hey, Kim Pop.
Discord for some reason. Thanks, Kim Bob, for joining at the end. You're the true MVP of the day. Yeah. But thanks for everybody who watched today. Sophie, VS Gaming, and Maywin, and Liftinger, of course, and USA Voyager. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's actually pretty great.
Yeah. You can also catch me on Twitch, which I usually stream now like Thursday and Friday evenings. I usually stream Thursday nights with my girlfriend. We'll probably play some more Dream Daddy this week. And then Friday, I'll play some more PUBG with other friends. I don't know who, if I have any. I don't know. No, I might play something different. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then YouTube, which I didn't have a video this weekend because I forgot how time works. Because apparently that just happens to me, I guess. I don't know.
I need my fix on the freaking Fire Pro Wrestling.
Sorry, man. I'm trying. Okay, God.
It's hard to get Bo and Seth in the same room.
Look, all you
Dude, they're
motherfuckers
pretty-
in chat right now, you got to watch this.
Oh God. But I'll probably try to. Maybe I'll do something Friday night so I can have it up Saturday. I'll be gone this Saturday weekend or this coming weekend. But what else? No, that's it. On YouTube, you can catch me usually every weekend. I'll post a new video. I'm working on a Let's Play for Resident Evil 7 for like the first hour or so. You can catch me playing that. And then I probably have another Fire Pro Wrestling, but I'm also working on a video game in 5 minutes for Resident Evil 7. So stay tuned for that.
It's gonna be awesome.
And then that's it for Old Fist Cakeroony. Where can people find you two?
Well, you can find us on YouTube at Nanothel Gaming TV. Where this podcast
You
is
set them up, we knock them down.
where this podcast is going to be on Wednesday, along with the audio version of the podcast is going to be on where you get your podcast. But also you can where you can find on our YouTube channel we do Smash, so Smash 4 and Melee, and all of our stream content goes to our YouTube channel as well, which we stream both here at twitch.tv/NeanderThalGamingTV, as well as right now this particular podcast is also streamed to our lovely Concomcast Twitch, which you guys should totally go over there and follow that so that we can...
Because we will be moving...
We'll be moving both the podcast and Into the Veil, which is that series we do every Tuesday with Fistcake, where we play really weird and strange games. So make sure to get that done so when we do those in the future, you guys know where to find us. But you can also follow us on Twitter at NeanderthalGTV.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, what should we talk about? Games we play on the stream on days when we're not with Fistcake. Mondays we do Tales of Berseria. Wednesdays we do
Shadows of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor. So, and right now on Into the Veil, the three of us were playing, actually, Fistcake's playing through Deadly Premonitions, and we're here along for the ride. Any last words, Fistcake?
Nope. Pay attention to the Twitter, which you can catch at Concomcast, because we're doing a giveaway, which I think ends either this weekend or the next weekend, where if you sign up and participate in, you can possibly win a free Resident Evil game or a free Dead Rising game from the Capcom Rising Humble Bundle.
Which is has been closed for a bit now, so
we can't get it anymore. Yeah. We got the sweet deets.
Yeah,
we got the last
exclusives.
one.
Exclusives.
Exclusives.
Yeah, so make sure you head over to at Concomcast to get that information and sign up so you can participate and possibly get a free game.
Mm-hmm. And then if you're catching this on the YouTube or the podcast, check the show notes. We have a Discord channel, which Kim Pop is the.
Yep.
It's been Kim Poppin'.
It's been Kim Poppin'. Yeah, it's been Kim Poppin'. Let's be real here.
And check out Kim Pop. He does streams and stuff too.
Yeah, cool guy.
We also have a Facebook group, which I don't think anybody's on yet. You can check that on the show notes and stuff. And I think that's about it. Oh, and like I said before, if you have questions, comments, or concerns, or you just want to say, hey, guys, you can always email us.
You're my heroes.
You're really cool. I like your beard. Wow.
I wish Matt could grow a beard. Oh, me too, unknown commenter.
But you can email us at contentcompletecast@gmail.com. And that's all I got.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
On the next Angry Joe show.
Bye.
I fucked up the video. 1 second. Fixed it.